Hello everyone, welcome to the Geoecologist. I am Dr. Krishnanand and you have been watching my videos on geography and related topics. So in this session on environmental geography, we are going to learn about one of the most important and cited aspects in environment topics, that is about environmental degradation. So what is this degradation all about? What is this downgrading of environment and what are the factors associated with it? What are the important facets of environmental planning? And also, we'll be talking about the mitigation measures in today's session. But before we go ahead, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also do share the videos with others as well.
So now let's discuss the concept of environmental degradation. So what does this degradation mean and where does this come from? Degradare is a Latin word which basically means down and stepping. So something is stepping down. So what is here? Environment is stepping down. It means the quality of environment around the world is deteriorating. And that's where the concern is, that everywhere around the world, in India, at local, at global, at regional level, you find that there are lots of environmental issues and challenges that needs to be looked at. So here in environmental geography, we are looking at the degradation aspect of environment, how the quality of environment is deteriorating with time and what are the factors. So let's discuss in detail now. So environmental degradation is basically an umbrella concept. Why is it called an umbrella concept? It's like a huge body under which there are several concepts which are there, which makes this entire umbrella of environmental degradation. So what are the other concepts that are involved in umbrella concept? The pollution of environment, the biodiversity loss, the animal extinction, the deforestation and desertification, global warming, and various other aspects of climate change that we are looking at. So these are all the things that contribute to this environmental stepping down, the degradation of environment. That is important here to remember, right? So it can be simply defined as what? A change or a disturbance to the environment perceived to be lethal or undesirable. Now remember, this is a humanistic definition or human-centric definition. Why? Because it's talking about the lethality and undesirability of human beings. But remember, also at the same time, for the animals and also for the plants in the ecosystem and for the microbes. So all the components of ecosystem are part of the larger environment and they are now downgrading, they are facing the problem. So remember the concept that environmental degradation does not talk about just human beings but also about the nature as general. But in a general connotation, we always keep it to largely biodiversity loss or animal extinction or pollution where human beings are concerned, right? So that's where the human centrism approach comes with this particular definition. While you see United Nations International Strategy for Disaster Reduction defines environmental degradation as what? The reduction of capacity of environment to meet social and ecological objectives and needs. Now here is a catch. It's talking about social as well while ecological objectives as well. That is what I was referring to. That the sum total of the ecology and also the society, which is supposed to be external to ecology in the conceptual framework that we have studied. So what happens? The ecological aspects of flora and fauna and human beings and their society, when they interact, that is what we are studying in environmental geography, right? So what is happening to it? There is a reduction in the capacity to fulfill our needs, right? So that's where the quality has deteriorated. If you can look into this image, watch the level of pollution in this water body, right? So this is where it is not fulfilling our basic need. Still people are sitting and utilizing the water there because they cannot fetch water from some other source maybe, right? So this is where degradation is happening. The grade is deteriorating. It's not use grade. It's not that grade of environment which is beneficial or is actually required for the sustenance of human being, right? So that is important to understand, that the factors that contribute to the environment is now downgrading. That's important to remember. Now look at the factors that are leading to this environmental degradation. I'm sure you must have come across various kinds of news in the media, in the newspapers, and various reports and documentaries. And various movies have also been made on this, that environmental degradation is becoming a serious issue, right? So what are the factors? So let's divide the factors into some natural factors and anthropogenic or human factors. right? So that's important here. Now, looking into the natural factors such as drought, storm, right? And storm on sea, land, and desertic areas as well. You have hurricanes, cyclones, tornadoes, right? Volcanic eruptions, and several other factors. These are all natural factors. But what about anthropogenic factors? Have you seen these fires? Have you seen these mounds and piles of these garbages? Now, these are some things that are important factors that lead to the degradation of water quality, air quality, land pollution. All these things are related to anthropogenic influence. So together, natural and anthropogenic influence lead to the degradation. But remember, we are in Anthropocene. Here, human beings are dominating in the activities on Earth. So anthropogenic factors become more important, right? That's where we are concerned that because of human activity, industrialization, urbanization, the fallout is that we are polluting all these aspects of environment and we are downgrading it. That's important to remember. Now coming to this particular flow diagram, this is types of degradation. So you look into this: deforestation, desertification, extinction, erosion, emission. All these things are important. So you can utilize this flow diagram when you are making a particular answer or you want to talk about something which is conceptual part. So in terms of environmental degradation and its types, you can utilize this particular flow diagram. Now let's talk about anthropogenic influence and how we see through this graph. If you observe, this is a time graph and this is world population in billions. Now you observe right from 10,000 BC when became agriculture settlers. So we became settlers or agrarian society in 10,000 BC, and since then we have been growing. Suddenly we observe that we have a huge rise after a particular portion, that is somewhere around 18th 19th century. Till then world population was growing gradually at a general pace, arithmetic pace, but suddenly it started to grow at equational pace, right? That's important to remember, that now it is growing exponentially, that we say, right? So x to the power n. So this is where we are concerned that unprecedented population growth has happened in last 200 years, and that's where anthropocentric approach to environmental degradation comes into the picture. So what are the various causes we can list? Population growth, urbanization, economic growth, intensification of agriculture, increase in energy usage, remember fossil fuel, right? We are always talking about it, and increase in transportation. So we observe that the primary cause of environmental degradation in last 200 years and coming times is going to be human disturbances, right? The degree of environmental impact varies with cause, habitat, and the plants and animals that are residing in that particular habitat. So that is important to remember, that these are certain factors, causes, these are certain graphs that we need to analyze and understand what has happened because of human beings to the environment, right? That's important to understand. Now let's talk about the impacts. Impacts of environmental degradation, if you observe, impact on human health, right? Then ozone layer depletion. So still it has again impact on human health and the important environmental consideration in terms of the ozone concentration as a greenhouse gas. Then you have economic impact. We have loss of tourism industry because it is all dependent on environment, aesthetics, and loss of biodiversity. We hear in news that every day some or the other species is becoming in danger, some are getting extinct, and we are already in the phase of sixth mass extinction, as we say, right? So that's important to understand, that environmental degradation is not just a single concept. It is a combination of all these things that we are looking into. That's why we say it's an umbrella concept, right? So remember this point, that environmental degradation has impact on almost everything that we are concerned with. That's why it's very important to understand. Now, let's look at one by one. So for example, we look at biodiversity loss here. As we say, we are into sixth mass extinction phase, and 2020 report of this World Wildlife Fund, WWF, found that human activity, specifically overconsumption, population growth, and intensive farming. Remember these 3 points, right? Overconsumption of resources, population growth, and intensive farming has destroyed almost 68% of the vertebrate wildlife since 1970. Just in about 50 years, we have destroyed 68% of the vertebrate wildlife population of the world. This is unprecedented in the history of humankind. That's why we are concerned about environmental degradation, right? So remember this example and remember this report which has been quoted. That's important to quote in your answers when you're writing it. Then comes the implication of these losses of human livelihoods, well-being, these are important. So the state of world biodiversity for food and agriculture, published by Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, it also states that countries report that many species that contribute to vital ecosystem services, including the pollinators, the honeybee, the butterfly, the natural enemies of pests, soil organisms, wild food species, are in decline state. It means everything is declining now, and as a consequence, what is happening? The destruction and degradation of habitats, overexploitation, pollution, and other threats. Now, this is the state of world environment we are talking here, right? So you see the reports around the world that is coming into the picture in 2019, 2020, the recent reports that we have seen, right? So that is why we are concerned that the rate of expansion of this human resources and also at the same time over exploitation of natural resources alongside is a very big factor. That's what we need to understand. Then comes water degradation. If you observe, only 2.5% of all water on earth is fresh water, and out of that, remember, we are using 85% in irrigation of farmland. That's a huge amount. So we need to find alternatives. That's why we are saying that rainwater harvesting is important. 6% is being used for domestic purpose, indoor bathing and other usage, and 4% for industrial purpose. That is the larger division of all the fresh water that we are using. And that's a huge amount of water that we see in irrigation lands, right? So that's important to understand. And it is estimated that 1 in 3 people, remember, 1 in every 3 people around the entire world is already facing water shortage. Now remember, water is coming into packaged bottles. Already it has been declared as a commodity on stock prices in some of the places in America and other places in the world, right? So what is happening? Water is gradually becoming a commodity like oil. Gradually we are moving into an era where water will be only sold on a particular international price, and there will be a huge problem with the common availability of water and affordability of water. So we are moving into the scarcity gradually. So 1/5 of the world population live in areas of physical water scarcity. If you remember the study of South Africa, what happened there? Huge water scarcity, right? So that is important to understand that what water scarcity and levels are going to get in the future. And 1/4 of the world's population live in developing country that lacks necessary infrastructure as well. So remember, water, if not given in a pure form, if it is dirty, if it is polluted and people consume that, they are going to have health issues. So it's not just water degradation, it's also about impact on human health, on wildlife health, on plants health. Water is a vital resource and it's very much important part of our environment. That's why we are concerned about water degradation. Let's talk about climate change. Climate change, it means temperature and precipitation changes are happening on long term. So pollution, air, water, noise, all these things are affecting. Sulfur dioxide, ozone concentration, fluorides, right? We all know that this is the list very commonly available in newspaper and on all environmental reports. That's what is happening. Then comes light pollution as a new type of pollution, especially in urban areas. What you see, urban sky glow. In night sky, you cannot see the stars. Why? Because of the urban sky glow, too much of light. Then you have light trespass, the unwanted light coming from different sources, glare, which is on your mobile time and your screen time on laptops. Then cluttering of lights at many places means lights coming from various sources, diffused sources, right? So it's impacting human eyesight, human brain. All those things are important in light pollution as well, right? And let's talk about some examples of mountain biodiversity, because mountains are the fragile community. And remember, habitat degradation is increasing in mountain now, right? Erosion of fertile soil, increase in threats of avalanches, landslides, flooding. How many cases of avalanches and landslides and flooding have you observed in the recent times, right? So you can quote as many examples from newspapers as well, right? Then you have United Nations Environment World Conservation Monitoring Center, UNEP's mountain program, which produces a report called Mountain Watch Report. And you know what it says? According to this report, important pressures that mountain ecosystem face, including seismic hazards, fire, climate change, land cover change, agriculture conversion, infrastructure development, and also armed conflicts. These are the important things that this UNEP report says, right? And we have already seen how many glacial avalanches, how many landslides have been triggered in recent times, and also the cloudburst because of the increasing effect of climate change. So we see mountain biodiversity is also at loss. And mountains are one of the communities in the world which are already fragile and heavily populated, especially in India if you observe the Himalayan region. So what are the mitigation measures then? How are we going to improve? So here are certain steps which we are looking at, that if we want to really improve, if we want that environment should not go downgrading, it should go upgrading, right? So A, grading or upgrading the environment, what are the mitigation measures? So first of all is environmental education. If people are not educated environmentally, it means from the perspective of environment, if we are not educating ourselves, our children, future is in darkness. Purchase recycled products. Consumer behavior is important because we are in the age of consumerism. That's important. Also, do not litter. Now remember, garbage disposal is a huge problem. We have Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in India and still we are struggling, right? So what's happening? Waste disposal and recycling is still not happening in the way it should, right? With a huge population base, we are facing it. Then we have conservation of resource as one of the options. So renewable sources of energy, water harvesting facilities, solar mission is there, right? That's important. Then awareness group creations, awareness drives creation. Then you have reduction of carbon footprint, that is need based, right? For example, switching off the lights and fans when it's not in use, conserving the energy. And that's where we can reduce our footprints by changing our needs or our patterns of the things that we need. That's important. And finally, the sustainable practices based on the sustainable development goals. So we try to achieve SDGs, right? The 17 sustainable development goals, which we'll be talking in details in sustainable development lecture as well, which basically focuses on three things, 3 R's, right? That is reduce, reuse, and recycle the products. That's one of the measures that we can take, that we can reduce the consumption, we can reuse things, and we can recycle things. And also we add another R for ourselves, that is refuse. And why this refuse? The unethical environmental practices, like for example, use of single plastics, right? So these are certain things that you can refuse to use as much as possible. Make your homes plastic free. That's an important step that we can take at individual levels, right? So that's important to understand as a wholesome idea of this environmental degradation, its various factors, and how we can mitigate it.
So now, when we have understood the various facets and attributes of environmental degradation, in the lectures to come, we'll be talking about more on environmental management and conservation aspects. So stay tuned, stay safe, keep learning.